Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning to a special edition, Steel City Sports World. Got your host, Claudio Rosano, Smoke and Jim Frazier. I'm Luther Dupree. Got some great things, some great topics. Make sure you give us a call. New number, 412-228-0418. Give us a call. But we got to start it off like we always do with our Steel City news. I was going to start it off with You Deserve Credit, but I have something for Westinghouse. But I'm going to throw it off to you guys next, because I know I'm going to have to clean it up after the mannequin goes. Claudio?
Can I steal something from you and Kelly?
Sure.
Okay, I got a You Deserve Credit. Claudio Relsano, you deserve credit. I told you Kenny Pickett was not a good quarterback.
Gosh.
I told you guys every show. I told you before they drafted him. I told you when they drafted him. I told you after the games, before the games. He's an all right backup who can make some noise, maybe. He's not a starting big-time quarterback. Would you give him a big-time contract when this contract is over? No. I'm done.
Oh, short and sweet.
Short and sweet.
Since he's been drafted, I think half of your Steel City news has been trashing Kenny Pickett.
It's being honest.
Being honest. Okay, all right. Before we start, the words you're about to hear reflect Smoke and Jim's thinking, and it'll reflect mine, Claudia, or anybody else.
Or Kenny Pickett's.
Or Kenny Pickett's. That being said, Jim, the floor is all yours, sir.
Hey,
or
thanks.
the mannequin, as he's affectionately known on the boxing authorities, the mannequin.
Hey, thanks, Luther. I know you got long hair. Do all Mexicans cuss in front of their young boy like David Benavidez did in his post-fight press conference in front of his son? Sometimes Benavidez acts very professional. Sometimes he acts like an undocumented immigrant. He don't deserve a shot at Canelo. Luther, you always say there's communities I can't go in. If I go to Clareton, I face assassination. Aliquippa, assassination. If I drive through Brentwood without identification. Hey, Luther, hey, listen. Everybody knows I love Amani Christian Academy football team, especially the players like Deshaun Barnett and David Davis. Luther said on air, he put me on the spot, David Davis had like about 6 touchdowns, and Luther was like, you never did that. And that's true. And I tell you what, he may be one of the best football players I ever seen, but a better question might have been, could he have done that against the team that I played for? Because Marino couldn't, Dwight Collins couldn't, Tommy Flynn couldn't. You know, we was undefeated, Lou. We won the WPIAL. We won the states. We was ranked number 5 in USA Today. And I tell you what, at the time we broke the state record, 32 points in the whole season, 1.9 points per game. We had 35 seniors. That's after we cut 20. We had 64 juniors. We had 64 juniors after we cut 30. We had only 1 sophomore on the team, 0 freshmen on the team. My graduating class was 1,500. Nobody scored on us, Lou. We didn't want to give up a first down. One time we got into a fight on the field because we gave up a first down. 50 players and all the coaches had to break it up. Lou, we did not go in pregame warm-ups in uniform because we would hit live. I didn't know till I got to college, Claudio, that quarterbacks wasn't allowed to get hit. Our quarterbacks got blasted until I went to college. I didn't know that. Listen, our goal, Lou, was never to win. We expected to win. Our goal was to put out every quarterback we played, and only one went the whole game. Unfortunately and sadly, and it affects me to this day, 2 of the quarterbacks got paralyzed for life. And that was sad. And at that time, Claudio, they continued the game. Once they loaded them on to the back of the ambulance, game was continued.
Don't they still do that, Jim?
No, now they put probably, I don't know. I've never seen a guy paralyzed since we did it.
That Dennis Bird, they played.
No, I'm talking about in high school.
I don't know.
When somebody gets paralyzed in high school, they'll continue to play?
They don't know at the time. They usually take them in a truck and they still play.
Well, DeMar Hamlin,
there was a local kid that they took away. They still played.
DeMar Hamlin, y'all was all affectionate when I said they should have continued. But anyway, let me finish up.
The man had a cardiac arrest.
You're not doctors.
They thought he died on the field,
The reason games continue is because You can only control what you control. If you're not a doctor, let the doctors and the ambulance handle it. Keep playing. So listen, Lou, just to finish up, they used to call
Lou, this
us
is disgusting.
They used to call us the Kamikaze Kids, the Crunch Bunch.
Kamikaze Kids.
Listen, I would say this. If I had a kid who was a future Division I prospect or an NFL guy, I would never play him against the team that I played on, especially if he played quarterback. And that's what's on my mind, Lou. Don't put me on the spot again.
I'm just asking.
And then we definitely would have beat Mohawk.
What year was that, Jim? What year was
It was
that?
a while ago, Lou.
What year was
the
that?
rules was a little bit different.
See, that's the thing. We're trying to get some history. Jim just throwing out dates. We don't know when. Sometimes in the 20s.
Hey, trust me.
Jim?
Hey, trust me, Lou. We was kicked out of every conference every year. We played in 4 different conferences.
Wow.
My senior year, we was playing teams in Erie, Altoona, Johnstown was in our conference. We had no local games, man. We was out of control.
Somebody do some research on
We
Gateway
was
and
out
find
of control, Lou.
Jim's putting four different years together. Paralyzed. What, you was going to follow up to see if they were still paralyzed? Come
No,
on,
they
Jim.
talked. One guy just died like 4 or 5 years ago. But think about it, Lou. Never could have kids. Probably never got married. You know, probably was plunged up. I mean, you know.
Jim, listen, man, that is a sick individual right there. Let me bring some realism back to the table. You deserve credit because Jim took all the credit we were going to have away with that foolishness. Westinghouse High School, once again, back to back. We've been following the class of the city. I think we have some footage we're going to run on the sidelines, man. Got to give it up to Coach Dante Green and the rest of the coaching staff and the players. They lost a ton of guys, and they're back again. Can we run some of those clips right now for Westinghouse? Listen, man, this was a great year. This is Khalil Green. He's replacing Keyshawn Marcillo, and he hasn't missed a beat. I mean, he ran it in. He threw for another touchdown. These guys are very, very tough. I think we also have a play where Michael Richardson, great guy, it's another one. And Beaver Falls was a tough team, but they didn't have anything for Westinghouse. They move to the ball, they fly to the ball, you know, and I think they have a great chance. They always had the crowd.
Wow.
They're doing their chant. It was powerful, man. It was a great experience. But these guys are tough. I think they can do it this year. 13-0. They match up again with Southern Columbia. You know, they just refuse to face different competition. They've won 13 state titles. Jim Roth, 498 wins. Why not move up? Why aren't they forced to move up at Aliquippa's a 2A school, and they're playing, 5A, 4A now in the state championship? Why is Southern Columbia choosing to stay down in 2A? You talked about Amani. Amani, here's the play. Michael Richardson with the sack. This was game over. Josiah Collins picks it up 23 yards, and they win the game 28-8. Outstanding. They beat Farrell, a tough Farrell team. They beat Central as well. So I'm excited about their chances. Hopefully we get a chance to be on the sidelines and cheer them on. Hopefully they can win their first state title. I think they have a great chance.
Well, even if they lose, it's no shame. Even if they lose, it's no shame.
Listen, you want to win. They lost last year in the same one.
Yeah, you want to.
I'm tired of Southern Columbia winning it. I'm tired of them being able to 13 state. Wouldn't you want to move up?
Yeah.
Amani's a
You know what,
1A
though?
school. They're moving up to 3A in football. They were a 1A school in basketball. They're moving up to 6A
They don't
in
want the
I
basketball.
don't think it was their choice.
It was their choice. What are you talking about?
I don't think it was
You
their
can
choice.
choose to move up, Jim. You understand
They
that,
never
right?
won nothing in football. Why are they moving up, Lou? It was
They
not
want
their choice.
competition. They have, 4 legitimate Division I prospects on the team. They
So
Sean
Penn State
Burnett.
told them to move up a notch?
Listen, maybe that'll bring more guys in. Supposedly tougher competition. I thought they were going to stay in 1A. It was an easy way to the state title, but they choose to play up, unlike Southern Columbia. I think it's a disgrace. 13 title. Wouldn't you want to move up, Claudio?
No.
But in all honesty, as a coach, bottom line is to win. Because if you move up and you get hammered, then they'll say, well, it kind of almost puts a negative on the past.
Yeah.
Oh, he was good. Like in boxing, you beat a bunch of guys,
And you
as
move
soon as
up.
you
You
move
wanna
up
move
and
up.
you fight somebody good, oh, he wasn't that good.
Yeah.
What happened when Tyson lost to Buster? Maybe he wasn't that good.
Nah, Claudia, once
I'm
you
just
get to
saying.
a certain point, you should move up. I mean,
Any
it's
black
just-
players on Southern Columbia?
I don't think this year, no. And they had some disgusting signs. We'll see what happens this year. But I'm
What they
excited.
have? What they have?
I don't even talk about it.
Where's
man. I
this
don't
at?
even talk about it. Somewhere in the other side of the state, man. I guess they're towards more the eastern side, right?
Okay.
Yeah, they're disgusting. But I think Westinghouse could do it, man. Listen, number to call, 412-228-0418. A lot of things to talk about. Jim, your favorite receiver for the Steelers, Deontay Johnson. You've been critical of him, and I'm
Yes.
starting to come more and more to your side.
Thank you.
He's scoring touchdowns. They're down by 14. He does a very lame celebration. The fact he celebrated at all, I mean, this was just disgusting. What are you doing? It looks trash. You're down 24-9 with 4 minutes. You're shooting a gun. Shoot yourself in the foot. Do a Plexico for us because what he's doing, he is not helping us again. Here you go,
didn't
Jim.
you say on
This
Steelers,
is actually
But
disgusting.
didn't you say on Steelers pre-snap that Tomlin had a talk with him, and we didn't know
Well,
how he
didn't
was going to
quit.
behave.
He
There
scored,
it is.
He scored a touchdown.
It wasn't because of the talk,
He scored
but
a touchdown.
but in
You
my
don't know
opinion,
what- there you go,
he
Claudia.
dogged Tomlin by doing that.
Listen, you want to talk? Okay, let me know when Tomlin has an active murderer on his team, like so-called Bill Belichick. Aaron Hernandez was on his team, right?
got rid of him.
No, he didn't get rid of him. He got rid of himself because he got arrested.
Whatever.
But he was out there cutting people up. A guy, you see this every week. There's guys walking, not hustling on the football field.
One thing I
It's
don't
not
like-
just with the Steelers.
And you know, I'm not a fan of Tomlin. But what
Why?
I don't
You don't like winners?
What I don't like was, and now you may disagree with this. Whenever a team says, "Well, we weren't up for the game. We weren't ready for the game," why is it up to Tomlin
It's up
to
to
get
players.
you up? You know what I mean? I've coached for 41 years, or 40 years. It's up to the players.
Exactly.
I guarantee you, Tomlin, the night before the game or that week, didn't sleep, was doing his work, and wanted to win,
Well,
and was passionate.
I'll take it one step further. It's not up to the coaches, and I agree with that. It's up to the team leaders and captains, which
That too.
Tomlin never brought none in.
No, apparently
That's
not.
the worst.
What are you
That's
talking
the worst.
about?
They lack it.
What?
Anytime you have a quarterback who's in his second year, only threw 6 career touchdown passes. And the only word, this guy couldn't lead silent prayer. Only time he's ever said more than 2 words was when he said, "I do." and that's your captain.
That's right.
And year
Hey, you're
before you
right.
had Najee Harris
And
as your
Trubisky
captain.
before he even
Hayward.
played one down.
Hayward.
Huh?
And Trubisky.
Listen, first of all, who picks the captains?
First
the
of
players
all,
and the coaches.
because there's nobody to pick.
So Hayward's not a
On-
leader.
on-
Is that
he
what you're
playing
saying?
Offense?
Is Hayward not
Is he
a,
playing offense or defense?
I'm asking.
There's
You
a
said
lot of
there's no
leaders
leaders.
on that
You
defense.
said there's no
I'm
leaders.
saying offensively. We're talking offense. There's no leader.
You said no
But
leaders.
something-
Johnson
Jim said-
should be the captain. He's been around the longest.
But he's-
but
he
he's
does-
not.
Well,
He
you-
got 0
The
votes.
guy's walking
But Jim
around when the
said
ball's
something-
on
That's
the
what I'm
ground.
saying.
But
There's
Jim
no
said
leadership
something-
on that offense.
Jim said
other
something to
than
me-
Dan Moore.
Off the
Oh,
air, Jim
gosh.
said to me that in the 70s, if something happened, didn't get to Chuck Noll.
That's
Got
right.
Lambert, Green,
Yeah.
Russell,
Yeah, a player
Franco.
shooting out a helicopter.
He didn't shoot anymore. He missed.
Shooting out the helicopter
He
on
missed.
front news
They
doesn't
told
get
him
to
not
him.
to.
Come on, man.
They told
Listen,
one
you
guy.
want to put
One
this
guy.
rosy glass.
One
These
guy.
guys are shooting at
one guy.
Come on.
But I don't like the
Let
fact.
me know when one of Thomas players shoots at a helicopter in the air
But one
with a
guy-
shotgun
but one
numerous
guy-
times.
But I don't believe that they should. Everybody says
on,
he's a
man.
player's coach, which is fine. But I think they're dogging him. I think that when they say we weren't prepared, we weren't ready. That's up to you. You're the one making all
it's
this money.
pros.
The coach does
Yeah,
his
now
job.
high school, middle school, at that level, it's up to us to prepare the team. But once you get the pros and all that, they
I
need to
think
be able
they
to
just
prepare
got beat by a
themselves.
team that was better that day.
You know what? I don't
Arizona
know what
got-
it is. I just don't
Arizona
think
got
they
a lot
have
of
the
talent.
right people on that team to win.
Yeah, I
Simple
agree.
as that.
Nah, I agree with
They-
that.
Yeah,
Whoever
they
got
had
it, whether it was
they had
Tomlin
enough
or
seven-
Amir Khan or whatever, because Rooney don't do nothing. I don't think they have the right people on that team
Or
to win.
coaches.
Or coaches.
Faulkner ain't no
Oh,
coach.
come on,
and he's
listen.
your coordinator. Faulkner?
7 wins. How many are they going to end up with? Before the season started, I said they would have 10 or 11
Yeah, you
wins.
did say
I'm
that.
still comfortable in what I said. I was including this Arizona game, so now they're going to have to give me more.
had
back
Arizona
in.
losing?
No, I had them as one of the 10 wins.
Are you comfortable with the team the way they behave and play? What would Luther Dupree do?
Listen.
You're a
You know,
coach.
you have a backup quarterback in there. You got to change it up a little bit.
You had
But I think-
Joshua Dobbs. What happened to him?
Do they know
Joshua
talent?
Dobbs.
They don't.
Listen, he improved. A guy can improve. Maybe he wasn't ready when he was here.
But
He
that's the
needed
job
couple
of a
more.
coach.
But
This
that-
kid's going to be
listen,
better.
That's right.
You got to prepare him. Listen, at the time, they thought they had guys that were better than him. You know,
Maybe they don't recognize it though. Like I don't. Let me put it to you
guys,
this way:
listen,
if
you
somebody's
believe, you're a coach. Certain guys do better in different situations. Yes or no? And that might have been a
Well,
thing.
some
He improved, it was
some
better.
coaches, especially the
They
ones
make
that
you
grew
better.
up down south, think the white
gosh.
quarterbacks are the better than black quarterbacks. Evidently, we got one that thinks that because there ain't
But
no
I'm
black
saying, Luther,
quarterbacks on the Steelers team
Do
in
they
a long
know-
time.
We didn't have Charlie Batch or Byron
That was,
Leftwich.
thanks,
no, we had him yesterday.
Thanks, Bill Cowher. Thanks, Bill
no,
Cowher.
no, that was when Tomlin was here. Charlie Batch
No,
and Byron.
Bill Cowher brought him in.
Come on,
he brought him in.
Come on, man.
But like I said, do they know talent? If I'm watching a mechanic
Did
fixing
they-
a carburetor, I have no idea if he's doing it right or wrong. Maybe these guys don't know what the hell they're talking
Well,
about.
I'm sure they found Jalen Warren, didn't they? They found him undrafted. They brought him,
you have to
developed
find him consistently
Yeah, they
and
have.
develop,
Well,
and
well,
develop.
Listen, if that's the case, why do they have such? Why is it on a Hall of Fame pace right now? You can't say
Do you
that.
know
You have
that?
to have
Do
the
you
horses.
know
They've
that
had the
Pickett
horses.
is the worst quarterback in NFL
Ever.
history
Yep.
for 500 passes?
Well, I know. I sent you all that
Oh,
thing.
thanks.
I sent you that
Thanks,
on Twitter.
man.
Yeah,
Send
that's
me some
true.
more of that.
I mean, that's true. He's
I
having
can't get enough
He's
of
having
that.
a historically bad start in terms
In
of
2
touchdown
years.
percentage.
What would you do now? Would you go after Kirk Cousins or would you
Kirk,
go
no.
after Jalen
Def-
Daniels from
Well,
LSU?
No,
Is
I
that
would
the
look at the
right?
draft. I would look at the draft because he's not getting it done, and it seems he's rather fragile. I mean, every time he
Right.
turn around, he's getting a concussion.
I've never heard of somebody
ankle.
getting an operation on a high ankle sprain.
And coming back pretty quick.
Yeah, you just taped that up. You missed Thursday's
Well, it
game.
must
and
be
you played the
worse. It
next.
was bad. It was bad when he came in. You know, it got a little worse. So we'll see. Let's jump to the phone lines. Caller, say your name where you're calling from.
This is LD.
LD!
What's happening,
What's going on,
LD?
LD.
Yes, I
Can
couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah. We said, what's up? What's up? What's on your mind, LD?
Okay. I thought this was a show about Gateway High School at the beginning,
Jim throwing all them lies in there. Come on, Jim.
talking about when they used to win.
Right. 60 years ago.
You all were talking about Steeler players doing stuff they shouldn't do. Big Ben, and I liked him as our quarterback.
Good point.
But he bought a motorcycle and he got hurt,
Yes, sir.
and he missed quite a few games because of that.
Good point.
And we're not
So
going to
players
talk about his
don't
bathroom
always
activities
do what
either.
their coaches want them to do.
And they told him to wear a helmet. And he said, the law says I don't have to, and I'm
Brad, he
not going
jumped
to
on
wear it."
Bradshaw. about
Yeah,
that,
almost,
right?
yeah. It could have been very brutal for him. You're right.
You right, LD?
Yeah. That's a great point. And that happened under, Cowher.
Yep.
You know? So, listen, man, all these guys have players that are going to do what they
think
want to do,
LD's
LD.
doing-
I agree. And something else, everyone has to remember the Steeler team overall this year is a young team. And
Young-
something else, let me just
Young
say
and
this.
dumb.
They need a new center.
Oh, yeah, Mason Cole's looking very bad out there. Jim, I thought you were high on him.
Well, he's better than anything else we got.
Listen, man, he can't snap the ball. He's getting blown up. He's a very weak link on an offensive line, Jim. I was disappointed. I
LD,
thought-
do you think
I
there
thought it
should
was
be
good.
more discipline, different culture with the team?
Well, young guys are so different now.
Good
you
point.
know,
Good point.
and
True.
Tomlin, to me, keeps a lot of discipline on the team. But it's hard to keep these young guys in line. It's all about me.
How about-
a lot of those players have it's all about me attitude.
How about if before you draft them, getting to know them as much as possible, and not only scout their physical ability, but also get some reports on them while they're in college and see what happens there. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
that's done. That's
I
being
think
done.
that's good. But I think that's what they did that with Kenny. They really knew about Kenny.
Yeah.
But you also have to be able to
Going to
play,
Pitt.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, good point, LD. Good point. Because their Wonderlic scores are some of the lowest in the league.
They had Jim, what they got smoking Jim scores on that Wonderlic, Jim? Listen, man, LD, I agree, but all these guys have scouting departments. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. Most of the time, they've hit.
Well, we got
Look at
Omar gone. He wasn't no football
First of all,
player.
and Jim, this is where I have to call you out. I called you out on Steelers pre-snap every Sunday, 8 o'clock. Make sure you check us out. But I called you out. This draft was an excellent draft, Jim.
So you
Broderick Jones, starter.
left
Joey-
tackle? At left tackle?
Starter, like I said he would be. I said he would take
ALD,
over.
didn't they draft him to be a left tackle?
They drafted him to be a starter, but Dan Moore was
And
better
I-
than they thought. And Chucky,
What did I
as
tell
you
you?
call him,
I told you that.
no,
He
but
wasn't going to start over
Here's
Dan
what you got to
Moore.
understand. Okafor was worse than he was the last couple, so they had to get him out of there and put Broderick Jones on there. He was doing worse than Dan Moore. Also, Joey Porter Jr., a shutdown corner.
Didn't
Yes,
we just lose the game? I told you
He
he's
had a
the
couple
hardest one in
penalties.
there. He's
He
a
had a
free
couple
safety.
penalties.
Yeah, he had that critical time. He lost the game.
How many games has he won, Jim?
Well, he had 5 penalties against Tennessee. He had
did
5
say he was gonna
penalties
be
in one
He
game.
shut down.
You did say he was going
He
to be
handsy.
Yeah.
Okay,
He's a
we
free
said that.
You
I
know how
agree with
good he
you.
could be
He's
a
a
free
rookie.
safety? Would you move Mika to strong safety and keep
No.
Porter for-
Porter's the shutdown corner we've been looking for, Jim.
Yeah,
You're gonna be wrong
Belichick,
again.
Belichick.
Also,
we're gonna have a Belichick record with Porter.
What about Keanu? What about Keanu Benton?
He's
Another
a
starter.
bum.
Another starter. He's another
He's a
starter,
bum,
Jim. What are you
man.
talking about?
Take that 95 off
And
if you,
how about our
if you got that
linebacker?
much gut.
How about the linebacker, Herbig?
He was
I
good. He
love
had
him.
nice-
We
So-
all
so
love
those
him.
are 4 guys.
We all
You're
love
wrong
him.
on all of them.
No, Herbig I love. Don't get 4. Don't put 4 guys. Benton ain't no good and Porter ain't no corner.
Jim, you don't know. Listen, you don't.
And
Jim
Broderick
is one
Jones
of those
is a
guys
right
who
tackle.
will never admit
They
he's
moved
wrong.
up in the draft for a right tackle.
Smoking Jim got a lot of Deontay Johnson in him. He won't admit he's wrong. He lows, and he always makes excuses.
How
Come
is
on,
that?
Take
How is
your
that?
L.
How is that? Leal doing when I told you he was a bum. He don't even get on the field, Lou. This is his second year. You
Second.
loved him. You invited him to your church.
He's struggling. Second year slump.
Yeah,
Hopefully
yeah,
he bounces
okay,
back
all
next
right.
year. LD, you
Sorry,
still with us?
LD.
LD, you still here? All right.
LD
He got
watching
the-
some
the-
Gateway highlights.
He's trying to sift through all the junk and all the lies you talked about. Hey, he opens up a phone line, 412-228-0418. Listen, guys. All right, is there a caller in the air? All right, looks.
Well, that was an Obama phone. They
You
still
know
make
about
them.
those Obama phones, Jim. You got 2 of them
got
on the
2
desk
over
over
there.
there. Listen, Steelers defense, ranked number 21. They moved up from when you said they were 30.
31.
348 yards a game. They've given up 22 touchdowns. Your thoughts? Now, they've had some major injuries, Claudio. You know, when you lose, they're down to what, their 3rd or 4th middle linebacker. Minka came back. Now he broke his hand.
But have they been playing high-powered offenses?
You can only play who's on your schedule.
Good point.
You can
No,
only play-
they haven't been.
And,
And
they,
those guys-
and they've been on the field all game.
Arizona's
because they're 3
doing
and
a
out.
90, what was it, 99-yard
99.
drive.
Okay.
I don't, is it
99.
the scheme? Is it the players? Is it a little bit of both?
You know what? I do have a problem with the offensive coordinator call. 4th and 1, you're in shotgun with a backup quarterback. I didn't like that. When I saw the setup, I was disappointed. You know,
So
but
it's not all Matt Canada's fault.
Najee has to get in on that. You know, but in shotgun, that was horrible. You got to put a fullback in there.
Put the
power
blame
in
on
there.
Faulkner or Sullivan.
Najee
Put it
was
on
running
Faulkner
people
or
over.
Sullivan.
Najee was
Faulkner
running people
and
over.
Sullivan, whoever caught the play
But you know
caller
what,
and
though?
offensive coordinator,
right,
both of them.
You're right.
That was horrible.
But I've said it numerous times, and I think you agree, and I'm sure you have to have the horses. You have to put them in position to score, to better
It's
position.
1 yard. They got to get that.
You got to
With
get
their
that.
offensive line, a Najee, 6'2",
He was running over
240.
people.
Yeah, maybe that's the time he should have jumped. Usually I get mad when he jumps. Maybe he should have gone over the top
How
on
about
that one.
Trubisky's a big boy. How about a quarterback sneak?
Yeah, he
Or
might,
what do they call that?
He
Push?
might. Yeah, I don't
Push?
trust.
Yeah.
I don't trust Trubinsky with a quarterback sneaks. He drops the ball
big
way
boy.
too much. Just like that low snap, he dropped it.
Yeah,
that
all
was
they
the
had to
game
do-
there.
Yeah, all they had to do was
Just
get
fall
on
on
it.
So
it.
I think we'll agree it's everything, players and coaches,
Yeah,
not just one or the other.
And they're still 7-5, and they still will win 10 games.
Which goes
and I
to show you
still
how,
think-
what do I say? MFL, mediocre football league.
When it tells you how important coaching is to continue to get these wins with all these injuries. It's losing starting quarterback, losing middle linebacker.
Well, I think Coach
you gotta
Tomlin
get some
cares
credit.
about one number: 9 wins. by any means necessary.
I think it's well, we talked off the air about the Arizona Diamondbacks, I believe, had 8 more wins than the Pirates.
That's terrible.
To make the World Series. 8. It's all mediocre. I know you tease us about being old school or old, but I don't think any of these teams today, including Kansas City and Frisco, would have done anything against the old Rams, Steelers, Dallas Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings.
First of all, there's way more teams now. It's not just 12, 15. It's
should have
30
more
some
good players
teams.
then.
No, it's only
watered
a
down.
certain amount of talent, in the world. So not all of them can be great. So the talent
But
is
nobody's
spread out.
great.
Oh, there's a lot
Kansas
of great
City's
teams.
great?
Not Kansas City
San
per se,
Francisco's
but
great?
they have one of the greatest quarterbacks ever in
Well,
Patrick Mahomes.
well, I know
San
somebody-
Francisco's a great team.
I know
They have
somebody-
talent all over.
I know somebody can help us. He went 5 years without catching a touchdown pass. Dino Tomlin, maybe he come in. He won't walk. He'll hustle.
Listen, but speaking of that game, the big game this week is San Fran versus Philadelphia. It was a blowout, 42-19. San Fran, you could say they couldn't
No, they got
play.
weapons.
I mean, they have weapons defensively. That defensive line, you have Chase Young is over there. You have our old guy from South Carolina that we should have kept.
South Carolina State. That's
South
a big
Carolina State.
difference.
Yeah. We should have kept him. They have Nick Bosa.
He mentioned the
you know.
Italian guy last. You see how that?
I don't like Nick Bosa. You know,
You don't like Bosa,
He's a
brother?
good player. He's a good player, but he's a
Oh,
racist brother.
He's
so.
white.
He is.
Oh, he's racist?
Oh man, yeah.
Are you a Trumper?
Oh man, he's had all kind of tweets out. Yeah, I don't mess with Nick
Where
Bosa.
are they? I
I'm not
just never
show them
seen
to you,
that.
unless they scrubbed them already. But yeah, that's true.
First
yeah.
I've heard of that.
Are they using his logo? Is he using his logo?
His logo, the pizza man, the mannequin. Hey, number to call 412
You eat that stuff, you'll get plugged.
0418. But were you guys disappointed? I was expecting a great game.
Especially in
Philadelphia,
Philly, yeah.
San Francisco, and they punked them. I mean, it took so bad. You know, San Francisco was punching in the face. It took a security guard for Philly to show some heart the whole game, and he got smacked in the face by Greenlaw. Listen, San Fran is loaded. If they can stay healthy and keep Purdy healthy, they're going to be tough to beat. They're going to be tough to beat.
They put it on our team, too.
First game of the season. I mean, there was a clear difference. Christian
You don't think they
McCaffrey.
can do it again?
Worse.
You don't think they can do it again?
Christian McCaffrey's a real, and Debo Samuels.
He's
Brandon
really big
Ayuk.
time.
I mean, listen, Kittle's, and they have a great.
He's better than Kelsey.
No, he's not.
I take Kittle.
Stop, man.
He
Maybe
annoys
right
me.
now,
He
maybe
annoys
right
me.
now. Kelsey
You're
getting
mad
old,
because you
yeah.
don't
He
like
annoys
Taylor
me.
Swift.
He annoys me.
Why? Because Taylor Swift.
Oh,
That's
man.
why.
Who's that little short gymnast? She's never in the news.
Simone Biles.
She ain't got no Taylor Swift in her.
That's another L you took because you said it wasn't going to last.
I was
They're
shocked.
in marital bliss.
I was
Hey, we got a caller on the line. Let's get some realism here. Caller, say your name where you're calling from. There you go. There you go.
Luther was ready for that.
Taylor Swift and Simone Biles.
was
There you
good,
go. Hey, what's your name and where you calling from?
What's going on, fellas? This is Stat.
Hey, what's
Stack.
up, Stack? How you
Hey,
feel, Stack?
Stack.
What's happening, Stack?
We must have a delay. Can you hear us, Stack?
Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stack.
it's like, yeah, now I got you. Now
Okay.
I got you.
Okay, thanks, Nat.
What's going on, man? The authority, we call it the football authority, man. Stack has been
No doubt.
following City League for years. He was on that great Rasheer team that could have possibly won state years
That's back
ago.
when they was the Bullets.
Back when it was the Bullets, yeah. Yeah, what's on your mind, Stack?
Yeah, the Bullets. Nothing much, man. I'm calling y'all cold. I'm not even watching what's going on, so I'm just, picked up the phone, called y'all. Want to talk a little bit, I guess, about the state championships coming up.
Yeah, state championship, Westinghouse, Southern Columbia. We were on the sideline last year. Hopefully things break right. We'll be back on the sidelines this year. Your thoughts?
Ain't in heaven this year.
Can Westinghouse win it? Can they stop the train, which is Southern Columbia, 6 consecutive state titles? Stack, what's your opinion?
Yes, they can do it. They can do it. They have to start strong. They can't come out and warm up to the game. They got to show up ready to play.
Can the fans of Southern Columbia go a whole game without dropping the N-word?
Only Jim would say something like that. Jim, just stop. And the answer's no. The answer's no.
Yeah, I'm not even going to touch that. I'm not even going to get into that.
But what do you notice about Southern Columbia? We know Westinghouse, and we want you to compare this Westinghouse team to last year's team. What's better and what's worse, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know if anything is necessarily better, but I think they're equally. I think they're equally as good as last year as a team. I think they built. See, I think a lot of people were worried. They were concerned early in the season, but the quarterback play, Khalil Green he has exceeded a lot of expectations.
He
and
stepped
he has
up.
improved every week.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And he's very steady. He's so calm in there. He plays with a calmness. You can't tell if he's made a mistake or if he's made a big play. He's the same person every play, and I like that about him. And he's only a junior. He'll be back next year.
Only get better. I mean, like you said, we saw when he threw a touchdown, same demeanor. And then he had a fumble, a bad fumble on his side of the field, same demeanor, kept his composure. That's what I do like about him. And like you said, he's gotten better passing. He's explosive as a runner. We saw the 28-yard touchdown run. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I thought they were going to struggle a little bit just because they were younger than, they lost a lot of time. But, credit to Dante Green and the coaching staff, man. They put them right back in position, undefeated again, and they get a rematch with Southern Columbia. Now, what about Southern Columbia? We know they lost one of their players to Maryland, who's still doing some decent things at Maryland. What can you tell us about them?
Brayton Wisłowski, he went to Maryland.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with Southern, they returned 7 starters, but they gained a starter back that was injured on the opening kickoff last year that he missed the whole season. So really, they returned 8 starters on defense. Wow. And they're very good. I mean, their front 7 is as good as you'll see on the high school level.
Right.
But I don't know. I think some of the schools they play are scared the second they get off the bus or the second they see Southern Columbia's name on the schedule. But Southern Columbia is very good, very, very good football team, very well coached, and they have a style that wears on teams, and that's why I said Westinghouse has to start off strong. Westinghouse has to be in the game from the jump because Southern wants to go for another championship, but Westinghouse wants to dethrone them, so they're going to have to come out ready.
No, for sure. All right, well, we'll see. Now, give me your assessment of the Steelers. That's something we were talking about. Of course, Jim said this past draft was a bust. I disagree. 7-5, lost Kenny Pickett. What are your thoughts? And of course, every show, Claudio wants to trash Kenny Pickett. He's been doing it since he left the Pitt campus. And he's continued. Before Pitt, you didn't like him. At Pitt, you didn't like him.
I don't like him at Pitt.
But your thoughts? 7-5, right? 7-5. Steelers. Your thoughts?
Here's my thoughts on Kenny Pickett, and I'm going to go all the way back from day one with Kenny Pickett. I'm talking about day one at Pitt. When he beat my Miami Hurricanes in his very first start, I said, okay, this dude might be something really good. And then after that, he became very mediocre, and I didn't like him. For about 3 years, I didn't like Pickett. And then that final year at Pitt, I was like, yeah, okay. He's a good quarterback. I think Kenny Pickett is gutsy. He's gritty. But my only issue with Kenny Pickett right now is
fragile.
And I've been a supporter of Pickett. He's almost Glass Joe. I call Joe Burrow Glass Joe. Kenny Pickett's starting to be unreliable.
Now, come on. Now, Joe Burrow his line has gotten him killed since he's been there, man. Cincinnati has not fixed their offensive line. That's a problem.
Glass Joe is Glass Joe. It don't matter. That's why his name is Joe Burrow. He's Glass Joe.
He's not Glass Joe. He wasn't Glass Joe at LSU. Right now, he has an offensive line that is terrible.
You know what, though, Stack? You said Pickett was tough, and that's fine. Do you remember a guy named Randy Tex Cobb, a boxer?
Yes.
He was as tough.
Yeah.
He was as tough as it came, right? He could take a punch. He kept coming, but he didn't have the skills to go to the next level. Pickett might be tough in the whole 9 yards, but he does not have the skills. He's fragile, but he does not have the skills. He doesn't have a big arm, not incredibly fast, has happy feet. I don't know what everybody made. I say if he played at Utah and his name was Ken Pickett and he had a crew cut, nobody would have liked him. They'd have been upset that they drafted him. I just don't see it.
Well, here's my thing with Pickett, and there's some things I don't like him all. He bells left. I've talked about that. I don't like him belling left. But some of the times he's pressured because of that center's getting pushed back into his left.
Yeah, Mason Cole looks horrible.
Yeah, and so I'm not ripping Pickett, and I'm not all the way on board with him. I'm still in the wait and see. I got to be fair to all sides. I'm not going to say he's a bum, and I'm not going to say he's great. This year I need another X amount of games to really make a fair assessment on him.
But my point, Stack, let's say he had a big-time offensive line. Is that going to make him more accurate on a 4-yard pass pattern? He's supposed to hit him here, and you got guys having to make great catches on a 4-yard pass pattern when nobody's rushing him. I understand that I've always said the most important positions on the field is the offensive line. But let's say he had John Hannon, Mark May, and what's the guy, the Hog?
Jonathan Ogden,
the guy
and
who
all
always
these
got
guys.
the Steeler job.
Russ Grimm.
Okay, you got time to throw, but now you have to have the accuracy, the strength to carry out, and I don't think he has it.
Well, hey, you're not wrong, because this is the strange thing about it. Pickett was accurate I don't understand. He seemed like his accuracy has regressed.
Maybe the game's faster.
Yeah, maybe he's waiting for people. Maybe he's waiting for NFL receivers to become college open, and that doesn't happen in the NFL. I don't know. His mind might be sped up a little bit. That's why I need a little more time before.
You would give him more time.
Wrong.
He's going to miss about 4 games, so you wouldn't go in the draft trying to grab, like, say, a Jalen Daniels dropped. You wouldn't try to grab him, or a Michael Penix if he drops. You wouldn't go back and look at those guys.
I'm not against it. I'm certainly not against it, and mainly because I don't know if I can count on him. Like, anytime the dude steps out of the hot tub, he injures a toe.
Hey, Stack, another thing, for example.
You call him the Anthony Davis of the Steelers. Huh? He's Anthony Davis.
Please.
Hey, I like Pickett. I've been behind him. You can ask anyone. I've always been behind Pickett. But
I've been on him.
Now, let's use real quick Kurt Warner. He got cut by Green Bay and I think somebody else, okay? Now, when Kurt Warner, when he went to the Indoor Arena League, he said when he went to the NFL, it became slower because it was so fast. So he improved.
Right.
But Kurt
Tommy
Warner
Maddox
had a
too.
big arm.
Tommy Maddox, too.
But he had the big arm when he started. He had the accuracy when he started. He just didn't the game was too fast. Pickett, again, the arm, I said this to
You
all
want
the
him
time.
you want him in Arena League so he can get the.
Want
him out the league.
Okay, but he threw a sideline pattern. Me and my wife went down to the field a little closer to see our daughter perform, and I swear I could see Wilson on the ball. He didn't have a big arm, and he was a little bit older than guys playing in college. That has something to do with it, in my opinion. I just don't think he has the God-given skills to go to the next level. He said, well, Joe Montana. No, Joe Montana could throw a deep ball, and he was accurate. He used to hit Jerry Rice on the eights.
What
and
about
he would
his
go
swag,
that way.
Claudia? What about his swag?
Joe Montana had a ton of swag.
Kenny Pickett doesn't have swag.
Oh, please. That's not a story. I'll bring that picture back of me back in 1980.
The white shoes.
Joe Montana never goes back to Ringgold.
Unless they pay him.
They hate him down there.
But I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Hey, Stack, it's been the first time you caught in a little while. So now, with the rest of the season, how do you see it going? They have 7 wins now. Mitch Trubisky, it looks like it's going to be the starter.
Oh, boy. I'd rather have Mason Rudolph in there. Mason, I know Mason's going to throw the deep ball.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's also a
Point,
sitting
Stack.
duck.
I agree with Stack.
Rudolph has the strongest arm out of
Yeah.
the 3, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You know,
that ain't even close.
Although it was a 5-yard guy in the end zone, he skipped it to him. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah. That's after he got hit in the head by Myles Garrett, He changed after
I
that.
think Mason's to the point now where he don't care. He's not scared. He don't care. He's like, look, I ain't got nothing to lose.
He's going to let it go. That
yeah.
could be a good thing, Stack.
Yeah, that's why I like Mason better than Mitch. Always have.
Yeah.
Maybe because he
I
beat
can't
up
tell
Pitt
the
real bad the
difference.
1 year.
I
don't know.
I can't tell the difference.
Who
Stack.
moves better?
Well, definitely
Trubisky.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch is a mover. So with that offensive line,
And
Mason
Tomlin
Cole,
likes
he may have
guys
to
who
move.
can move, which I do as well.
Yeah. But so how many games
Mitch
do
is
you
an
see them
accident
winning?
waiting to happen. I think they're going to get to 10. At
Yeah,
least 10.
that's what I said at the beginning. They got New England this weekend. What are your thoughts? I mean, not this weekend, tomorrow.
Thursday, yeah, tomorrow.
Before I get to my point, I don't know if y'all listen to like Boston radio, the sports hub up there. I do sometimes. It is bad. Everybody up there hates Belichick. They hate Belichick. They want him fired. Saying all that, the Steelers got to win tomorrow night. Like,
It's a must
New England
win.
is bad.
It's a must win.
It's bad.
Hey, Stack, it ain't gonna be easy, man. I tell you what, man.
No, it ain't never gonna be easy.
In
It
76,
ain't never gonna be easy.
in 76, the Steelers had the greatest defense
Mm.
in NFL history. 5 shutouts, man. They went 10-0 with a rookie quarterback. And I tell you what, man, this New England defense might be the best I've seen since then. Man, you cannot
come
score.
on.
And the one thing about it, what I love in Stack, and you was a great defensive player, what I love about this defense, they don't care about what's happening on offense. They don't want to give up nothing. They play team defense, enthusiastic defense, and the Steelers may come over here. Steelers got a bunch of brittle brothers, so they may come out of there with 4 or 5 injuries, man. The New England hit, man. They hit. Yeah.
Every time they play at Heinz Field, they get injuries.
Yeah.
See, I say it all the time on Facebook, and I got people that respond to it like, yeah, that's just a coincidence. Look at all the Steelers players that get injured. Where do they always get injured at? Heinz,
point.
Accra, what's it?
Yeah,
What I call it? Acra Stadium.
That field is terrible. That field's been terrible.
You said that a long
Acra.
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time the Steelers play a home game, they lose players. Every time. Every time. They don't get hurt on the road. Nobody gets injured on the road. Every time they step on Acra Stadium,
Man,
they
great
lose
point.
players.
Minka came
Go back
back,
and look at
stepped
it.
on the field and broke his
company?
hand.
Aren't they an insurance company, Acrosure?
Somewhere in Detroit. Somewhere in Detroit.
Let's hope.
Yeah, you're right, man. At that field, man, there were some more injuries, more quarterbacks getting knocked out. There's still that discussion, natural grass or turf. Where you stand on that, Stack? And I'm ask you guys as well.
You know what? Honestly, I don't know. They need a dome stadium. That's what they need.
Thank
for real.
you. Thank you.
They
Then
need-
you take
I
out
don't
the
know
weather.
why-
No, that's what makes
No
makes
Super Bowl
Pittsburgh.
then. No Super
on,
Bowl.
Lou.
That's what makes Steeler
Open,
football Steeler
open and
football.
close.
What? Hey, Stack, I
Doesn't
believe.
one of them do that?
I personally believe that athletes ain't nothing but a piece of meat. They're out there for my entertainment. I would play them on cement. I love it. I
come
love
on.
it,
All
man.
right, Jim.
I bring AstroTurf back, man.
Come on, Jim.
Well, I know the
Bring
players
AstroTurf.
like the grass.
Yeah,
Zach,
grass
because
is
that's like
definitely-
throwing
Yeah.
on cement.
Well, I cheer for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey. So I don't care what they care about.
Hey, Stack.
Although you can cut. You can move. You look at old films like with
man, they can move
Namath
on.
and Shea Stadium, and
Yeah, and that mud
I mean,
baseball field.
yeah, exactly. Shea Stadium.
But now guys get caught in there. You see so many injuries. Somebody's foot gets caught in the
Yeah,
turf and
that's
they can't
true.
move.
Yeah, that's
and
true, too.
That's what happened with the Texans receiver, Dale. His foot got caught in the turf and he's done for the year. Broken
Or if you
leg.
cut and your knee, like Kurt Warner, the running
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
it didn't give.
give.
And it blew.
Oh, well.
Hey, Stack, man, looking forward to seeing you on Friday at the game.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
Stack.
Appreciate
Thank
the
you,
call.
Stack.
We got 2 more calls we got to get to.
Thanks, Stack.
Appreciate it, Stack.
All right.
All
Talk
right,
to y'all
all right.
later.
Later. Let's stay on the phone lines. Call, say your name, where you're calling from. All right. Caller, say your name, where you're calling from, or did we lose him?
Hello.
Hey, you're on the air.
Hey guys, this is Sean.
Hey,
Hey,
what's up,
Sean.
What's up, Sean?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, we're good, man. What's on your mind, man? We're just talking Steelers. We're talking the Westinghouse, Southern Columbia game, and you had a interesting viewpoint. You were there last week. Your thoughts.
Real quick. I can't talk to you about the Steeler game.
Right.
I'm not going to touch that subject. You know what I went through at the game.
Right, right.
Some people, I'll say this. Some people, let your kids be kids. Don't try to control the narrative of your kids because it make you look stupid at the end. And we'll leave it at that.
Right.
As far as the Westinghouse game, Westinghouse did what they did. They had their goal line stance. They're a young team. I want to give all of their players and coaches credit. Dante Green said it. at the beginning of the year to Mike White, the reporter of the Post-Gazette. We may not be as talented as last year, but we're probably a better team.
Right.
And I remember back in 2003, I was in the locker room when Chuck Franklin, his last state team run he made, they lost with Mike Reed and Vaughn Rivers. They lost, and Dwayne Pettis, they lost in the state finals. And I told them, hey, I'm going to be honest with you guys. You guys are not the most talented Perry team there is. There's a lot of teams that's been more talented. But y'all are one of the top 3 teams that ever played for Perry, because there's only 3 teams that made it to the state final. Y'all played as a team. Y'all got here as a team. That's all that matters. Even though y'all lost, only 3 Perry Commodore teams could say they made it to Hershey for basketball, and y'all one of the 3.
Right.
So even though there were a lot more talented teams than y'all made it. That's all that matters. Westinghouse, they know what they need to do. Come to play their game. Take it one play at a time. Be a little disciplined. My only thing with Westinghouse is I hope they learn from some of the things of last year. They just have to make sure they're tight on the defensive passing end of the game, because you can't run on them. They fly to the ball.
That's
They
true.
fly to the ball. And on them goal line stands, they were flying to the ball, but they did good. I was on the Beaver Falls sideline assisting with you, Luther. One thing I want to say to all parents out here, even parents, if you're a parent, not a parent, if you are an adult, do not disparage coaches at the games. There was almost a bad altercation that happened with somebody in the stand. He almost got into it with women. Then one of the coaches from Beaver Falls almost got into it, and I had to hold him back. And then come to find out, I know his whole family out Beaver Falls. So that's what I said, Luther. Put me on the Beaver Falls side. I know people over there.
Right,
I didn't
right.
know I'd be holding up a fight. But actually, it was good I was there. But if I wasn't there, he would have made it into the stands and broke that guy's neck.
Oh,
But
man.
when you
Emotions was
people,
high.
when you go to games, just enjoy yourself. Win, lose, just enjoy yourself. If there's things you don't disagree with the coach, keep that off the field, keep that out the stands, talk to people outside of it. Don't do it in the stands, because you're taking away from the kids on the field. Only 4 teams made it to the state Final Four last weekend. Beaver Falls was one of them as a 10th seed. So they did good. They just played against the Westinghouse team that they've been making state runs. Now it's their time to hopefully bring home the gold.
Yeah, let's hope it happens, man. We got to be there and support them, man. We need the city to come out and pack the stadium. So, yeah, I'm excited.
And I want to keep it positive because, like I said, Luther, you know what I went through on Sunday. Smoking Jim and Claudio called me off record, and I'll tell you about what happened, and it'll be a while to y'all. I don't want to go into it in detail, but call me off record, and I'll tell you then.
For sure.
Congratulations to Jim Leland for getting into the Pro Baseball Hall of
Oh,
Fame.
yeah.
I don't
He
know if y'all
deserves
talked
it.
about that. Huh?
He deserves it. Yeah, we didn't touch on that.
Well, he deserved it.
I thought
And
Claudia
one
was
thing
gonna bring
I
it
am
up.
gonna say is, you know what I kind of look at Jim Leland as? I kind of look at Jim Leland like the Larry Brown of Major League Baseball managers.
Okay.
Larry Brown always moved around when it came to the NBA and college basketball.
Yeah.
I didn't know
But-
Larry Brown smoked.
Say that again about
Bar-
him smoking.
Was Barry Bonds his AI, his Iverson?
Yeah.
Basically, Barry Bonds was his Iverson.
Point.
Well, Barry Bonds didn't get to the World Series until he was with Dusty Baker.
He should have, but he didn't. You're right. But you
Yeah.
can make a little parallel between those two.
Yeah, which is funny. But yeah, I want to congratulate what's his name?
Jim Leland, yeah.
To the Baseball Hall of Fame. Good luck to all the athletes that's going to Hershey this year. All 6 teams coming from the West. You know, we want to show that the West is the best in high school football. So good luck to all 6 teams there. Also, one thing I do want to say is that parents, if you have kids that are looking to play college football, understand the transfer portal and understand getting college scholarship offers, because I've had people say it best. Your offer don't mean anything until you sign on that dotted line. And even when you sign on the dotted line, you still got to make sure everything's right before you get on campus.
Yeah,
This
especially with
transfer portal, I guess since Monday, there's over 1,000 kids in the
it's
transfer
crazy.
portal.
More than 400 than last year in the portal.
Wow.
You know, and like you said, there's a lot of lies being told, a lot of people getting NIL promises,
Is
and
that
they'll get
all
their money.
sports?
We're just
Just
talking
football?
football.
No, this is
talking
just football.
right here.
Hey,
Just
Sean.
in football.
Wow.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
I'm a
Yeah.
St. Joe's fan.
Smoking Jim.
Well, are you talking about high school?
Yeah.
Well, look at St. Joe's. Marvin Harrison goes to the NFL. The quarterback, he gets into the NIL. Up here at Ohio State, they don't think he's enough. Let me preface this by saying this, Claudio. This is going to be a comment on race. So let me preface this by saying this. A lot of people of Columbus said, since probably Craig Krenzel or when Terrell Pryor was a quarterback at Ohio State, this has probably been the first time they had a non-black quarterback
Yeah,
at Ohio
that's
State
true.
since
That's
that
true.
time.
Yeah, ask Joe Burrow. He wasn't the capper. He wasn't getting in.
Who was starting behind him?
it's been a-
Justin Fields. Justin Fields was at the time was better than him.
No. It
was
was
it-
Dwayne
no-
Haskins. It was Haskins.
Well, Haskins
you can't
and
tell me
Haskins
Haskins
and
is better.
Fields. Haskins,
Who was the fat one that
Dwayne-
came in the championship game? Who was that
Cordell
fat-
Jones.
Cordell Jones.
Yeah.
Cordell
I
Jones.
liked
He
him.
was better too?
I liked him.
No, that was way before. That was way before Burrow. But he came, like you
Hey,
said,
Claudio.
between Dwayne Haskins.
Yes.
Claudio,
and
you
Justin.
said you like Cordell Jones?
Yes, I did.
Now, one thing I will say about him is that he should have struck while the iron was
He
hot.
should have came
Yes,
out.
exactly.
He should have
Yep,
came
no
out.
doubt. No
He
doubt.
He
went
would
pro
still be in
immediately.
league right now.
No doubt.
He could have got a sponsorship with all the biscuit companies.
No, he would have been a high draft pick if he would have come out after they won a
Yeah,
championship.
then he would have been the
he
next
should have
Jamar
came out when
Russell.
they
Hey,
won
but
the
it would-
national
his pockets would have been.
Hey,
been
Stack, real
nice.
quick, you mentioned
Sean.
Leland. I'm sorry, Sean, forgive me. Yes, I'm good with him getting in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, Claudio.
Yes.
Claudio, you sound like my mom. I got a twin brother and older brother. She calls us by each other's names.
I know. My
So I know
apologies.
who
No,
you're talking
Sean's a
to. Go
twin.
ahead.
I know. Okay, I'm good with Leland getting in. Okay, but Cito Gaston, 2 World
be in.
Series.
Should be
Lou
in.
Piniella, but also Danny Murtaugh. Nobody talks about Danny Murtaugh. He won in 60 and in 71.
always thought he was in.
I mean, I don't know. I thought 2 was better than 1, but I'm glad for Leland. But I think that between Cito Gaston and Cito won him 2 years in a row, then Danny Murtaugh, I would like to see one of those guys. But good for Leland.
Man, Leland had the Pirates in contention, for the last time since the '70s, and we haven't been back since. I mean, that put him up there. And then when he went to Florida and got that championship,
Hurdle
I mean,
did for a couple of years.
yeah, but not to say we should have won some. We
no
should have
doubt.
won it for sure. Those were some unbelievable teams.
Newport 100's got him in.
Hey, Stack, real quick, have you been watching the NBA in-season tournament at all?
I haven't really gotten into it. I'll probably watch it when they get to Vegas. So
Okay, yeah. Well, they're starting tomorrow. They'll be in Vegas, man.
Sean
I'm
going
excited.
to Vegas with you, huh? We didn't get our invite.
He
Huh?
he said he's going to start watching it when he goes to Vegas.
Woo!
Hey, Sean, man, but definitely appreciate you helping us get that footage on, at the Beaver Falls Westinghouse game. Appreciate that, man, and you be safe up there, and I'll let the guys know what's going on with the situation.
yeah, and tell them if they want to call me, feel free to call me.
All right,
Okay, thank you,
all right,
Sean.
Sean.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
All right, guys, enjoy your holiday too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and hold on. My daughter City's going to offer me stories. One final thing, I'm gonna hang up and listen to y'all. I want to see Washington win the national championship, and I'll listen to you guys and hang up.
What was
Yeah,
the question?
he wants to see Washington win a national championship. They have a tough game against Texas, but I think they can beat Texas.
They
I'm
should. I'm a Michigan man.
Well, Michigan's about to get beat by 25. You don't put no money on them. Alabama's going to run them out the stadium.
You know what? I'm with, I don't follow it as much as you guys do, but I like Alabama, and I think Washington's going to win the whole thing.
Wow.
See,
I like the
Washington, Alabama is going to be a tough matchup for them
Alabama's
because
not the same as they
yeah,
have.
but they still have a strong offensive line and they keep a good
Saban
runner, and
is
their
Saban.
quarterback is playing at an unbelievable level.
I
There you
think
go.
I like it.
Michigan earned our spot. Washington earned their spot. Texas earned their spot. Saban, I paid good money for it.
Well,
Listen, they squeezed
they are who they
Alabama.
are.
Do you agree with that?
They should have made it. You win the SEC
What-
championship.
Georgia
you
was
know.
number one all year, and
they-
they lose in the championship, so they get booted out.
Well, listen, if you get
What about
beat-
Florida State?
If you get beat at
Right.
well, Florida State, the quarterback's out.
But what does that matter?
First of all,
Money.
First
It's
of all,
money.
if you lose at a neutral site in the championship game in the SEC, you don't deserve to go. There's only 4 teams. Next year, when there's 12, you can throw people in. Alabama deserved it. They earned it on the field.
Was
I
it
tell you what, I
because
like
they
that
travel
quarterback.
well?
Who, Milroy?
Alabama?
No, I think
You don't
they
think it
earned
has nothing to do
no,
with it?
I think
It's,
they
think
all-
it has
it's,
anything to do with
it's
it?
definitely money. You know, as somebody mentioned, the fact that they're in there, it's $150 million more because they're in there.
Right. If Notre Dame would've had a better record-
see,
Yeah, they would've
got it.
won. Yeah, they would've
And now
got
see
it.
if Florida State would have had a Deion Sanders as a coach, if they would have gave him that opportunity and they had that record, they might have got in because he
Because of
brings
the,
that name.
right.
Well,
about
Colorado
money.
had a deal. Sanders as a coach.
Well,
They
Colorado's
did-
not Florida
wins.
State.
They're not Florida.
They're not Florida
they're
State. No, they're not Florida State. But I'm thinking Florida State should have got him.
But wasn't that obvious? So as soon as that,
Well, they
that,
was
that
undefeated.
happened, you thought
you could
money.
make an argument because they were undefeated. But I mean, they got a third-string quarterback.
Doesn't
Was that
matter.
the first thing
So-
to hit you when Alabama went
If
into
it
Alabama?
didn't matter,
it was.
If
I
it
agree
didn't
with
matter,
you.
they'd be in. If it didn't matter, they'd be in.
No, I'm saying it shouldn't matter.
Well, the
You
strength
tell-
of
what do you
schedule's
say?
one
If
week.
you're in a Power 5
No, the strength of
conference
schedule's
and you
one-
win,
They
you should
beat
be in.
Louisville for the championship, a team that Pitt crushed. So
Pitt didn't crush them. They beat them. They beat them. Come on, Aaron. Crush is a whole different thing. So you're satisfied with it, Claudia? Washington, Michigan, Alabama, and
Alabama
Texas?
is good. There's going to be a lot more eyeballs on it, but Georgia, I think got rough.
Yeah, I mean, you're number one all that time. You lose
I just
a
don't like
close
why.
game. You lose a
But
close
why
game.
would you
and-
have 2 teams in the conference? I know the SEC do it all the time. There's only 4 teams. You lose at the end of the year on a neutral site, you don't deserve to go. There's been times where teams lost in the SEC championship on the neutral site at the end of the year, and then they won the
You don't
national
think it has
championship.
zero to do with Alabama and the eyeballs and the butts they're going to put in the seats?
They won the SEC. They beat Georgia.
and
beat
they also
Georgia.
lost to Texas.
At the beginning of the year. That's why I
Doesn't
said.
matter.
You hear, but you don't listen. I said if you lose
'Cause
at
you
the
don't make
end of the
sense,
year,
Jim.
at the end of the year for your conference championship on a neutral site, if you lose,
Well, Florida State didn't lose. They won their championship.
Well, would you think they're one of the best 4 teams?
I think
with
they
a third
did.
string quarterback.
I think they
no.
did what
Answer
they
my
need to do.
question first.
Listen, I think they should have got in. So
Do
you're
you
punishing,
think they're one of
you're
the
punishing
4?
all
No,
of those
I'm just
kids
asking.
because the quarterback
I
got
don't-
hurt.
You know the
they put in all that work.
You know the ACC is soft as baby. Listen, hey, listen, Lou. Do you think they're one of the top 4 teams in the country? The answer is no. I'll help you.
I think the record proof. What else you want them to do? They won their
I want
conference.
them to have
they
to
went
start
undefeated.
quarterback. I want them to have to start
The
quarterback.
man got his leg broke.
Well, and their hearts are broke
punish
down.
all those other guys.
They're still going to a nice bowl, Lou. They'll still.
They're not in the college playoffs.
They still have
Jim?
their opportunity to lose. and they're going to get beat.
Georgia, right?
trying to
They
take my
play
watch
Georgia.
again.
They
There
play
you go.
Georgia?
Hey, listen, we got to wrap up. Jim, you took another L. Claudia, you're good with me. But hey, I'm going for Washington. Like Sean, I hope they could win it. But hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Check out our website, scsportsworld.com. Check us out. Steelers pre-snap, ClaudiaRosano.com, and Smoker Jim Productions, where he looked like a pizza man. The mannequin. We'll
Merry
check you out
Christmas.
next time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.